Hello people, welcome back to the channel and this video. So today I'm just going to be going over what I have done so far for the fry tank and how I kind of make my life a little bit easier when changing the water, etc, etc, because I know some people might get stressed about doing water changes on their tiny fry tank, like they're going to suck them up and all that stuff. But today I'm just going to show you something that I do personally that makes it a whole lot easier, and then we'll go into updates of the fry itself. We have lost, I would say, about 15. Not too many, because considering we have 100, but I'm currently doing a little water change on their tank now because it's been 3 days. I do my water changes every 3 days on my fry tank. So every 3 days, I change the water in the fry tank. Now, I put a bucket up high, clip it, and this is actually just airline tubing. I know when you do a water change in bigger tanks, you're not too worried about like the current of the water going in the tank, because big fish and other fish can kind of handle strong current. Well, these guys, unfortunately, because they are ever so small, they can't hack the bigger tubing when I put the water in. So I just got some airline tubing and clipped it up higher than the tank itself. It goes down the tube, gravity does its thing, and then it sucks back up into the tank. And this stream is really tiny. Like, I don't think, well, you know how bloody small it is. It's a really small inlet. So these guys are completely okay. I'm gonna try and get you a video here. Maybe it'll let me do it. But they like this corner for some reason. No idea why. But they like the corner, and it's nowhere near the heat. But ever since I put them in here, they are all about this corner. And just a couple of little strays just kind of hanging out. Actually, you know what? He might be dead. I think we lost another one. Maybe? Did we? Did we? Oh yeah, there's a couple. It is what it is though. I mean, obviously dead fry is just common, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, like I said, these guys are doing fantastic. We just lost probably 15, 16, maybe 20. But yeah, that's just one thing I do to make it easier to do a water change with these guys. I in fact do use the same tube to take water out. You could probably use a bigger diameter hose to get the water out fast. It depends, but then again, you run into a risk of sucking some of your fry up. Personally, I like the smaller sponge filters. I feel like there's not enough vacuum to actually suck the fry up and back out. They're actually strong enough to kind of swim away from it. As you can see, there's one fry actually right above it, and it's not being touched, it's not being messed with, it's not getting sucked up. So we did talk about how I removed the fry from the big tank into the smaller tank. Now I will go over that again. If you want to remove fry from your fish tank and you don't know how, and you don't want to use a turkey baster, airline tubing or a little bit bigger, maybe 3/8, just create vacuum, suck some out, and then create the vacuum to pull the water out and put the tank below the tank that you're pulling them out of. That way you can just suck them up, no nets needed, no turkey baster needed. That is the best way to do it. Unless they're eggs, then you might have to do the turkey baster. So moving on to the parents, as you can see, they're fine. She is back to normal colors. Him and her really do seem to be paying a lot of interest into here, which I mean isn't weird because that's where they had their first fry, which is kind of cool. There was about 15 left. No, I wouldn't say 15, maybe 10. There was like 10 baby fry left in here, and they were swimming around mom. I did remove them because they were out adventuring, and like obviously the mom was trying to protect them at all times, and I just didn't want these two right here to beat up like the rest of our tank, because we do have some gorgeous looking peacocks in here. And the last thing I want is for these guys to completely just, you know, bite into them and then tear them apart. So we did take them out, and they've gone completely back to being normal. Her colors are, you know, back to normal. I've said normal so many times in this video, but yep, they look fantastic, and I'm just happy. If anyone knows how to get rid of like the brown off my slate, I would greatly appreciate it, because this tank's not even that. Oh, the tank's at 80, but as you can see, like the ground looks fine, like the castle isn't getting it on. It's just this slate is getting really brown, and I do not know why. So they're all in the back hanging out. As you can see, we don't have anywhere near as many as we used to. Now there are some in this corner, and then there are some in this corner. We still have quite a lot, but this is all food on the bottom of the tank right here. And they're not interested in it. They're not eating it. I think they want to, and they grab some, look, and then like they just spit it out. Also have crushed flakes that I feed the angelfish, neon tetras, turquoise, severums, and then the neon fish as well. I don't think I said neon fish, but what I do is this: I get a little, like, you know, spoon, and I just keep crushing it and keep crushing it. So this is a little bit of what they get fed, along with some brine shrimp. Now these are all dead. I was hoping I selected the right one when I checked out, but I didn't. These are actually all dead. They're like instant baby brine shrimp. I wanted to hatch my own because I like the fact that they're alive and they kind of, like, you know, jump around, swim around. It kind of gives the fish the motivation to go ahead and grab something. Along those lines, because I thought I got eggs instead of like live dead fish, I went ahead and grabbed like a little incubator for the brine shrimp, but we aren't going to use it because we don't have eggs to hatch. Walking out of the fish room, sorry if it is windy. We have a 90-gallon tank that needs to be resealed and reframed. I did order the frame. When it comes, I might just do a video of me putting it on. But the company I got the frame off, I told them if it went well, you know, and it fit and it was perfect and it wasn't cracked and it fit really well and I was happy with it, I actually said I would shout them out on the channel. So hopefully that 90-gallon is able to get put back together and we can actually use it, and that's going to be going in the house because we're getting a different fish and I'm not telling you what we're getting. On other news, I actually bought a new frame for the 90-gallon outside. Well, it kind of sucks because it doesn't fit, and I told the guy who sold me it and who makes them online, if it was all good and it was gravy, I would shout his business out. Obviously, it's not a promotional video. I'm not getting paid to do that. I just thought, hey, this guy, he emailed me back straight away. And then, like, before I knew it, he was like, hey, it's been shipped. 3 days later, it arrived at my door. Like, this guy made my frame in 3 days and shipped it out to me. Like, well, not even 3 days, maybe a day. And then it got to me, like, within 3 days of me sending the payment. So, this is awesome. They are actually really decent. They aren't made of thin plastic. This is very thick plastic. The only issue with my 90-gallon is my 90-gallon is a lot thicker than your average gallon tank. So, the glass is super thick. For the 90-gallon, that sucks that it doesn't fit, and it honestly, it really does suck, and I will have to just message the guy and let him know that his didn't fit mine because my tank is very old. It's not old, it's the older style of 90 gallons or just any fish tank in general. The glass is so thick. So I think these newer tanks that are coming out, the glass isn't so thick because obviously they've perfected the way to pressurize glass and all that stuff to hold pressure underwater and all that kind of stuff. So I think that my tank's a little bit too thick. I might custom make this to the tank. I'm not too sure yet, but for the company that, you know, sold me the tank frame, you were honestly fantastic. I'm not going to shout you out just yet because it didn't fit. Even though the measurements were the same, it makes no sense. But obviously I'm not talking crap about the company. The company's actually great. Like I said before, I emailed him. He emailed me the invoice. I paid it. 3 days later, the tank supports were at my house. So that's just fantastic. So that's pretty much all that's been cracking so far. I am going to get to work on the rest of the PVC. That's going to be next week's video because clearly we need to do the rest. So if you don't know how to put PVC pipe together and you want to learn how to do it correctly, trust me, I'm a plumber. I'll show you the correct way. Some people might argue with me in saying that you don't need to use primer and glue. Trust me, you do. It's going to make that joint hold for a very long bloody time. And the glue is obviously going to do its job. Primer, it's a must use. Like, the primer actually soaks into the pipe and makes it kind of spongy into like a minuscule, like, so the glue will soak into that, the material and really bond it together. So it kind of softens it together so the glue can get in there and do its thing. But anyway, stay tuned for that one. Super pumped. I'll see you soon.